Hi guys, welcome back to Airtricity Vlogs. We're back with another video. This time it's a return of the Premier Division preview show. We'll look ahead to the 5 Premier Division games in the upcoming game week. Game week 21. Live it to JP. How are you? How are you getting on?
Hi, all good. Osh, thanks for having me again.
All good, happy days. So yeah, we'll crack right in with the meeting of UCD and Derry at the UCD Bowl. It's a 7:45 kickoff. Obviously last time out Derry picking up the draw against Drogheda. They're still lying in third place, 34 points, 3 points off Dundalk. Where with UCD, obviously they lost out to Pats, and they're still 2 points behind Harps in 10th place. Your thoughts on that there? Do you think it'll be an opportunity for Derry to get back on the horse eventually? Obviously, it's 8 matches now they haven't won, and I think it's a good opportunity myself. What are you thinking?
Well, it's certainly the best opportunity they're probably going to get. They get out of this run that they've got themselves into, and um try and build a bit of momentum going into the European games. I know we've got UCD and them Bulls before that, and then it's into the European games then, and I think they need to try and get some sort of momentum because we know how tough it can be in Europe, and it can be even tougher if you haven't got that good momentum. But look, it's going to be a tough fixture. It's away. We played them down there earlier in the season. We beat them 2-0. I think it was. Could have been more, but at the same time, they did cause us a couple of problems on the counter attack. But played them in the Brandywell, made it look easy. Scored early, kept scoring. And it's probably something that Derry have lacked over the last few weeks is that they've managed to get a goal but haven't been able to get a second goal to kill games off. I wasn't at the game on Friday night, but I heard that Derry played well in the first half, couldn't get the second goal, and unfortunately it cost them in the second half. And it's something that they're going to have to do, especially in this game. But they make no bones about it. Usually they're a difficult team to beat. Um, they made it difficult for certain teams, and the points tally on the board that they have is probably doesn't reflect that some of the performances that they've put in this season. But it's certainly one that Derry can't take lightly. But it's one that they have to look at it, getting 3 points if they want to remain in whatever is left of their faint title hopes.
Yeah, that's it. And Keith mentioned the group. We talked about it in the review show at the weekend. That it's mad to think that Derry are still in third place. It's really just because the teams below them haven't been performing. They're still in third place and they're still holding on to that slum title hopes, you could say, or whatever. But yeah, we know with
You
UCD
could even
they're very
at
tough.
it like that too, Josh. But you look at it, the number of late goals that they could scored early on in the season as well, if you know what I mean. So if they hadn't scored them late goals, and it wasn't just late goals, it was late winners that they were getting. So if they hadn't scored them goals early on and then found themselves in that sort of position that they found themselves over the last 7-8 weeks, eh, it's it's not it's not even worth as a Derry fan thinking about where could they be in the table. Like, so look, they go 7 games without a win and still have yourself in third place, still only 8 points off the top of the table with just under half a season to go, is still pretty decent. Still plenty of matches to go, could maybe twists and turns. Look, as you say, it's hard to believe that they're still in third, having the run that they're in, but it's all down to what they've done over the first probably 6 or 7 weeks this season.
Yeah, that has stood to them. Yeah, it'll be tough enough though. I'd say usually have been
Oh, definitely.
tough enough at home, especially at home. It'll be hard enough to break down. But personally speaking, I think Harps or I think Derry will get back on the horse, and
Said that last week too.
yeah, we did say that, but no, I think there's a chance there. Anyway, I think I did see a few comments on Twitter calling for Higgins' head, which I think is a bit mental. But
That's
yeah,
fans free. This time last year they were calling for, or whenever, not last year, but
uh,
a couple of months before that they were calling for. Divine hadn't won the first 6 games and he was gone, and you just knew that once Derry had a bad patch under Higgins, the same crowd, the same people were going to come out.
yeah.
So you have to stick together as a group.
Yeah,
It wasn't all rosy for Stephen Bradley at Shamrock Rovers either. He had to
exactly.
go through the rough patch, and he's reaping the benefits of it now.
Exactly. Yeah, I think Derry will get the one on this. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win to Derry. What about yourself?
I think they'll go 2-0 because
You know,
I think we've been struggling for goals. I don't think we've been given proper service to the front men over the last few weeks, and I find it very hard to see where we're going to score more than 2 goals. I think we can get a couple of goals in this. I think we'll win it 2-0.
fair enough. Yeah. Moving on then, we're in the Dublin with the Shelbourne. They host Dundalk at Tulka Park. Obviously last time out Shelbourne picking up losing actually sorry to Bows in the Dublin Derby, which is a bit of a surprise myself. But yeah, with Dundalk obviously that's a big win from last week over Shamrock Rovers, a 1-0 win, and you know that title race is definitely kind of back on. As we were saying last week, you know, if Shamrock Rovers had won that match, it could be, you know, potentially lights out for anyone else, you know, Derry or Dundalk, whoever it is. But yeah, yeah, I don't know.
They called that Dundalk one, didn't they?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I think we both went with a 3-2. That
Mm.
was what it was. We said there'd be
Thought it
goals,
was
but there was only
goals on the
one
day.
goal. Yeah, we said there would be goals, and obviously Robbie Benson got the only goal in the 80th minute. So it was a good match. So I watched it, and it was an entertaining watch. But yeah, on to the match. Anyway, Shelbourne at home. Yeah, I don't know. I can see Dundalk picking up another 3 points here. To be honest, and you know, we mentioned last week that the form that they're in, like they've won, I think, 6 in a row now, as far as I'm aware. You know, they've done really well. So yeah, what do you think on that?
I like they're the informed team in the league, like, aren't they? And I wasn't shocked by the result they got last week at home to Shamrock Rovers. I think they've been in such a good run. What is it? 6 or 7 games they've won now in a row. They're proud. They don't think they've lost since they played Shamrock Rovers in Tallinn. They lost 3-0 that night, and you could probably put that down to coming off the back of a Friday Monday sort of
Yeah,
weekend, where they had to rotate the squad a wee bit. So I can't see anything other than a Dundalk one. I can't see anything other than Dundalk extended that run. They've been absolutely fantastic. We spoke earlier in the season on the show, me and Keith, and we thought there was only 2 teams really in the league that could maybe put in a run of 6 or 7 wins in a row, and it was Derry and Shamrock Rovers who had already achieved that. But Dundalk has proved us all wrong, and they've done it themselves now, and they've put themselves well into the title race, and probably put themselves to be the favourites to be the nearest challenger. They Shamrock Rovers at the minute. It's about whether they can keep it up, but I think the one advantage they possibly may have is um they don't have any Europe where Derry and Shamrock Rovers do, so their focuses will go elsewhere over the next 3 or 4 weeks. Um, but obviously they'll be keeping one eye in the league where Dundalk will be able to keep 2. So this is a huge opportunity for them. They like keep the pressure on. It's in Tolka Park. It's not an easy place to go to. As we all know. And well, Shelbourne been in good form right up until before the break. They lost to Shamrock Rovers, now lost to Bows. It's well about can they reset themselves and go again. But I think Dundalk will win this game.
yeah, I think it'll be a comfortable result for Dundalk. Considering the form that they're in, you know, as you mentioned, you know, they're the team in the league with the form at the minute. I'm going to go with a comfortable 2-0 win. And what are you going to go with?
I think I will. I'll say 2-0 myself.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'll say 2-0 myself.
Good stuff. Yeah, moving on then to United Park, or Heading the Game Park as it's called this season. Drogheda hosting Sligo Rovers. Obviously, last time out, Drogheda obviously was a draw with Derry, which is a good enough result away from home for them. They, you know, extending the gap between Harps and them to 10 points. And you know, obviously with Sligo, they you know hammered the Harps in the Northwest Derby on Saturday night. So yeah, I think that was a big result for Sligo. Obviously John Russell's in there, the helm now. So they'll be looking to keep this kind of, you know, keep winning in a way. I say it's Sligo. They're looking to keep the form going. I'm going to go with a Sligo victory. I think we'll win from home here, although it will be tight. We know with Drogheda, it's can always be tight with Drogheda. But yeah, what are you thinking?
Aye, well, Drogheda, they're a hard team to beat, hard team to break down, and it's all about getting that second goal against them. Derry, as I say, possibly first half could have been out of sight. Didn't get the second goal. Drogheda grew in confidence and ultimately won their penalty and scored from it and defended well. Then not that they had much defending to do since after the penalty, but whatever they did have to do, they done it well. And it'll not be easy for Sligo, but Sligo are in the predicament where they have to keep winning because they've sort of got themselves into that sort of rut where they've fallen behind the top four, and at the minute they're trying to keep pace with St. Pat's whilst trying to maybe close the gap. They Derry and Dundalk as well. So for every one that St. Pat's gets, Sligo has to get, and Sligo will see this as a perfect opportunity for them to get the win, even though they'll be away from home. Drogheda will they'll be happy. They'll be going into this game full of confidence. Of after picking up that draw against Derry, and I think they got a draw before the break.
Yeah, unbeaten in 4, yeah.
Like, so they're unbeaten in 4, having gone on a run of 4 defeats. So it'll not be easy. They'll not make it easy. I think it's a bit draw. I think Drogheda might get another 1-1 draw in this game.
Yeah, another big good result for Drogheda, though. As I say in the Luke on the review show, Drogheda will be looking above them more than looking below them at this stage. 10 points.
There's a 10-point gap, but at the same time, they'll want to extend that as soon as possible because they'll not want that. They'll look to get every opportunity they can to extend that.
Yeah,
because as we come into the winter part of the season, that's when all these teams start to pick up points, isn't it, and drag you right in there where you don't want to be. And Drogheda will, as soon as possible, want to make that 10 into 13, 14, whatever they can. And look, I think they'll get a point in this game.
Yeah, that'll be a decent enough result with them. They're only 3 points off Shelbourne in 7th place, so they could definitely potentially move up the table if they did win here. You're gonna go with a draw. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a win this leg. I'm gonna go with 2-1. And what are you thinking?
Say 1 each.
1 each. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Right. Now moving on then to the big Dublin derby, live on RTE2 television. Shamrock Rovers against Bohs in Tala. Yeah, well, obviously, so far in the derbies this year, it's kind of Shamrock Rovers have had the bragging rights, you could say. Obviously, they lost last time out to Dundalk, with Bohs picking up that, big win against Shells. I didn't see it coming, to be quite honest. As we've seen with Bohs have been kind of tend to slip their leads at home. Thankfully, they held out for the 3 points this time. Yeah, obviously, Bohs in 6th place. They're still 2 points just behind Sligo. They have a game in a hand on Sligo as well, so they'll be looking to try and make some ground. It's obviously a derby that always comes into it as well. I could actually see Bohs possibly picking up a point here at least. I don't know, something tells me that they'll not just lie down. What are you thinking yourself?
Well, the 2 previous Dublin derbies this year, I think they put in a underwhelming performance from their own standards of what they maybe have been putting up the Shamrock Rovers over the last few years. I remember watching the first game that they played this year in Tala, and it was a poor game, but I know the weather affected it as well. But from a Bohs point of view, they were really poor. They didn't really give Shamrock Rovers a game that night. They defended poorly from the goal. Can't remember much about the return game in Dalymount, but I think they lost that game, didn't they, as well? So they'll look to put on a performance, not just for themselves, but they want to give their fans something they shout about, because we know that this is the derby, like, really, isn't it? The Dublin derby is, when we talk about the Dublin derby, it's Shamrock Rovers and Bohs, and I know we've got Pats and Shelbourne in there as well, and stuff like that there, but this is the game for these 2 teams. This is the one that they really want to win. This is the one they dare not lose. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a better game than what we've seen previously for these 2. Like, the last few years, we've seen entertaining fixtures. We've seen red cards, penalties, goals. You name it, everything. Managers getting sent off. Everything you could put into a derby. This had it, and unfortunately this season it just hasn't been quite felt like a derby from a neutral point of view of watching it. Maybe the Bows and Rovers fans could maybe say different, but um, I know Shamrock Rovers, they lost last week against Dundalk, and they'll not want to lose this one either. I think they've lost 4 games already this season, and they're only 5 points clear. They want to keep that 5 point gap, and possibly extend it. And with Derry playing UCD, if Rovers was to lose this and maybe Derry was to pick up a win, that brings Derry back into it again. Like, so for Bows, a great win last week against Shelbourne. I think they needed it. They really did, because they were starting to maybe get caught adrift of the top four. And there's always that, as long as you're in within 5, 6, 7 points, I think there's always a slimmer of hope of getting in there, and they've kept them hopes alive with that win. And look, they'll love nothing more than they do even better against Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and they've players coming in July as well, which will help boost their
Some good
squad.
players as well.
Yeah,
Our
that's it.
Davy Boy Kerr, he was at Derry a few years ago on loan from Brighton, and he played reasonably well. He was always playing, whenever he did play, playing mainly at right back, but can play centre back as well, and is very good. So he's very good on the ball as well. So it's a top player that Bows have signed, and somebody who, all right, maybe spent 4 or 5 months in the league. It was a short space of time, but I'm sure he remembers a wee bit more about the league, and he'll be asking players that he knows that was in the league or are still in the league, if it has changed much in their opinion. But he's a really good player. Don't know much about the left back they brought back from Scotland, but um, they're building well for the second half of the season, I think.
It'll bolster their squad a bit. Yeah, the last time out, obviously, it was a funny match because Andy Lyon scored and Max Murphy had an own goal and Danny
Right.
Mantry scored. It was a 3-1, and
That's
indeed,
right. I remember that.
yeah, it was a funny one, a bit of karma for both. But yeah, no, I think it'll be a tight enough affair. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a point here for Bows. I'm gonna go with a 1-1. You?
I don't know. I don't know. I think Bows have a really good chance of getting some in this game, but they have to play well to do it, and I don't think they've done that in previous Dublin derbies. But I know, and they've picked up a really good win against Shelbourne. But I can see Shamrock Rovers bouncing back from that defeat to Dundalk. I think they might just nick this one again. Uh, Same they did the last 2 games. I'm going to go for 2-1.
2-1, 2-1. Fair enough, yeah. And then on to the last match then, which is the meeting of Harps and Pats in Ballabofey, 8 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, I'll say Harps, a bit of a
You
bit of
just have
bother.
to be stand outside 8 o'clock, don't you? Like,
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, just to be awkward. The Harps haven't won since they won over Shells back in May, start of May.
not all year.
Uh, that's it. Like, so it's yeah, they're a bit of bother. Harps obviously last week was a 3-0 loss. Before that, they also got a draw with Derry. Yeah, I can't see very from a Hearts perspective. I can't see them getting too much out of this here. Obviously, last time Pats were up, they beat us in Ballabofey. Be good to see something that happened last year happen again. The 3-1 victory for Harps in Ballabofey. But no, I can't see anything past a Pats win here. I'm gonna go with a fairly routine win for Pats. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 to Pats, and yeah. I think the pressure will increase on Harps. Yeah, you yourself.
Well, for Front Harps' point of view, is they have to look down at the minute rather than up washing. They have to look over their shoulder at UCD. They can't be looking at Drogheda and saying, "Oh, we need to catch them," and stuff like that. They need to just look behind them and say, we need whatever UCD need to do. We need to match or better, because and they're capable of doing that. But if you try and look ahead, too far ahead of yourself, that's when you can be caught. And I just think they need to concentrate on keeping above UCD, because that is the main thing. At least if you stay above UCD, you've got a second chance in the playoff, and we know what can happen in the playoff.
Yeah.
You've done it a couple of times yourselves to Limerick. Um, And for me, that's what Van Harps have to do. Is now they'll make it difficult for St. Pat's, I've no doubt. I wouldn't say it'd be a fairly comfortable one for Pats. Like, you were in Sligo probably last week, so you know how they played, and it was probably in total contrast to how they played in the Brandywell before the break. But you have to remember there maybe 3 weeks in between that game as well. Like, so, but look, hopefully the crowd, the Van Harps fans will come out in force. I know maybe you'll be able to tell me better, but the numbers haven't been great, have they really? Have they this year? So hopefully the fans will come out and support them and just try and get a wee bit of a momentum going, because as I said, and I know I was joking about it, and I was only joking there with the in regards to they've only won 2 games, but it's in reality as well. They can both of them have come against Shelbourne, so and look where Shelbourne are in the league, so there's no reason why they can't pick up a win against anybody else in the league. They've certainly got good players there. I know they're missing Alexa Webster from the back. I think he's gone for the season, and I think Ryan Conley returned just before the break, didn't he? So he's a major boost. The strikers isn't doing it for them. They lost Tunde to St. Pat's, and we all knew that was going to be a hard act to follow because of the way that he burst on the scene last year. I know it took him a while to get going, but once he did get going, it was hard to stop. And as a Van Harps fan, you probably knew yourself that it was going to be hard to keep him whenever he finished the season the way he did. And it's just about, can they get over the next week or so and keep themselves above UCD, because it's likely that UCD's squad is going to be dismantled in the next couple of weeks with scholarships, etc., running out and stuff like that. So Van Harps have the chance they bolster their squad, because obviously with the way UCD setup is and stuff like that. So I can't see he's winning this game, but I don't think he'll lose it comfortably. I think he'll give St. Pat's a good game. I really do. He's always do make it difficult for teams. Most of the time, make it difficult for teams in Ballybuffet, and I think he'll do that today on Friday as well. But unfortunately, I can only see Pats winning, and I think it might be an hour 2-0 for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and I went for Pats to put the pressure on Derry. If they weren't to pick up 3 points,
especially Derry was to drop points against UCD as well.
Yeah, it's only 3 points in it there, and they're still sitting in 4th place. So and if they were to lose and Sligo to win, they're
from a Derry point of view. I hope that you do get a result, because we need to try and stay above St. Pat's now, because we know that it's only a top 3's guaranteed Europe, and you go into 4th, you have to rely on somebody winning the cup within the top 3. So from a Derry point of view, I hope you do pick up something against St. Pat's, because then if we pick up something against UCD, that allows us to increase the gap on them. So, but look, unfortunately, I just think St. Pat's will have too much for you on the night.
Yeah, and I think the point you made there about Tunde is an important point to make, that at this stage, last season, obviously Tunde had only 1 goal to his name, and Eric McWoods has had 3. So here's hoping that Eric McWoods can start scoring. And
it's all about the service, Hush.
Yeah,
it really is. So if you give a good striker service, he'll score goals from anywhere. You've seen it with his hat-trick goal against them. Was it the goal against Pats? Or was it another goal he scored against Shamrock Rovers? He got a goal out of absolutely nothing. He bullied the defender. The ball came under him. He didn't think he was going to score a goal, and he just bullied the defender and finished it. And it's strikers like that you need when the chips are down, and you need a goal from just anywhere. And unfortunately, and no disrespect to the Van Harps forward line or whatever, but I don't see that type of player in them. I just think they're players that maybe just come alive when the ball breaks in the box. You know what I mean? So anybody who supports Van Harps, yourself, you see more of them than me, so you probably have a better reading of them and what they do, etc. And for again, I wasn't at the Van Harps game in the Brandywell, but what I heard was Eric McWoods absolutely tortured Derry with his running in behind and stuff like that. And maybe if they could get somebody that could maybe hold the ball up and let Eric run in behind, and maybe that would create more chances and stuff like that. So, but look, it'll be a tough one for Pats. It'll be tough for Harps, but as I say, unfortunately, I just can't see Finn Harps getting a win. And I've been wrong before as regards Finn Harps, and might be wrong again, but who knows?
Yeah, it'll definitely be a struggle. Yeah, no, I can't see Harps getting anything out of it apart from a routine one for St. Pat's. There's a game on the Monday as well. I think it's a match rearranged because of European matches coming up at St. Pat's against Shamrock Rovers in Richmond Park. So obviously this will be played on the Monday. We'll just get your brief thoughts on that there. Obviously, Pats could be coming into it with a win over Harps, and Shamrock Rovers are playing Bows, as we mentioned already. So yeah, it'll be an interesting match. I say it'll be tight enough. Obviously, it's a Friday Monday match, so a few tired legs there, you wouldn't know, but it's about with the sides.
And there's probably only one team built for a Friday Monday in the entire league, and it's Shamrock Rovers, because we've seen it already this year where they've gone out on a Friday and they've won the game. They've gone out on a Monday. They've made 5 changes, and the 5 changes they've made hasn't weakened them. And then they've gone out on a Friday and just done the reverse 5 changes. And
just the bench, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a bench, and it's an interesting game. It's 2 teams that will have European aspirations for next year as well as this year, and they already know where they're going and stuff like that. Where Pats have a couple of weeks to prepare for their game, where Rovers are, after this, they've won league game and they're right on their end. I think this one probably depend on how the Friday results go for them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If some Pats beat Van Harps on Friday night, then they're going to be with their tails up. If they lose, then Shamrock Rovers, and we know we're coming off the back of a defeat to Dundalk. If they lose to Bows as well or not get a win, or all of a sudden they're under pressure and they're going into the Pats game. They're thinking, "Oh, we can't lose this. We need to get something and stuff like that." And it's a hard one to call at the minute because they've had Friday games, but it'll be an interesting game to watch anyway, because it could be key in the European challenge and the title challenge. Like, so if I need to call a winner now based on the squads and the Friday, the Monday, I'm going to call Shamrock Rovers 1. But as I say, it's not one that you can really predict until you probably know the outcomes of Friday's results and how teams are fixed for going into the Monday. But because of the squad that Shamrock Rovers have, and that they could maybe take 2 or 3 out and put 2 or 3 in and still have the same quality within the squad, I think I'll call a Shamrock Rovers 1 for this one. But we know they've been to Richmond already this season and lost. Why can't they do it again? I think this is actually rearranged from. Was this not to be played a couple of weeks ago?
More likely
for international football.
Yeah, international. That's what it was. I was thinking it was something to do with Europe, but them matches were played already, weren't they? The ones that were on a few weeks. But no. Personally speaking, I think you're right. I agree with you. I think Shamrock Rovers will have that. It's just a different level to the rest of the league with that bench. To choose the players from. Like, when there's Danny Mandry starts, there's players like Graham Burke on the bench, and etc.
Unbelievable. Like,
it's just mental. Like, it's crazy.
I watched the Derry game on RTE against Rovers and Tala a few weeks ago, and it was the substitutions that won the game, and it was basically Derry were down to bare bones. Rovers had looked on their bench, and they had the exact same quality on the bench, and Danny Mandry coming off the bench and bagging the winner. And he's a great player, and he's only going to go from strength to strength in the Shamrock Rovers team, and probably likewise for Shamrock Rovers, they're probably only going to go from strength to strength as the season goes on. But as I say, I can only see one winner, and I'm not trying to disrespect some Pats or anything here. It's only because I feel that Shamrock Rovers are built for a Friday Monday, where the rest of the teams in the league I don't think are. And if there's one team you don't want to play on a Monday after playing on a Friday, it's probably Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah, that's a fair point. In fairness, but that's basically it, lads. Cheers for listening, and like the video if you enjoyed the video, and we'll be back with a review show over the weekend after the game week, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're pushing for 5K. So cheers JP for coming on.
The ball, Ross. Cheers on me, lad.